The universe, a vast tapestry, holds secrets of angels and demons. What if the true mysteries lie closer in the hidden spiritual realm? For millennia, stories of light and darkness have been whispered across cultures. At the heart of this drama lies the tragedy of the fallen angels. These beings, once bathed in divine light, chose to rebel and fall into the abyss. Their fall is a story of pride, temptation, and the consequences of choosing darkness over light. The story of the fallen angels is not confined to the realm of myth and legend. It is woven into the very fabric of our oldest religious texts. The Bible in particular offers tantalizing glimpses into the nature of these beings and the events that led to their downfall. In the book of Isaiah, we find a haunting passage that describes the fall of Lucifer, the most beautiful of angels, who dared to challenge the Almighty. This passage paints a vivid picture of Lucifer's fall from grace, his transformation from a being of radiant light into a creature of darkness. The book of Revelation offers further glimpses into the angelic realm, describing a great battle in heaven between the angels of light, led by the archangel Michael, and the forces of darkness, commanded by Satan. Other ancient texts, from the apocryphal books of Enoch and Jubilees to the writings of the early church fathers, offer their own interpretations of these enigmatic beings. To understand the fall of the angels, we must first understand the nature of their rebellion. What drove these celestial beings to turn against their Creator? The answer, according to biblical accounts, lies in the corrosive power of pride. Lucifer, the most beautiful and powerful of all angels, became consumed by his own brilliance. He began to believe that he was equal to God, deserving of the same worship and adoration. This pride, this insatiable thirst for power, led him to challenge the very order of creation. Lucifer, whose name means light-bearer, sought to usurp the throne of God, to become the ruler of heaven and earth. But Lucifer's rebellion was doomed from the start. God, in his infinite power, cast down the rebellious angels, hurling them from the heights of heaven into the abyss of hell. The Bible tells us that Lucifer was not alone in his rebellion. He managed to seduce a third of the angels in heaven, convincing them to join his doomed crusade against the Almighty. These fallen angels, once beings of light and purity, were transformed into demons, grotesque parodies of their former selves, twisted by their rebellion and consumed by darkness. These fallen angels, now demons, are often depicted as malevolent entities, dedicated to tempting humanity and leading souls astray from the path of righteousness. They are the whispers in the darkness, the seductive voices that urge us to indulge our basest desires, to embrace the shadows instead of seeking the light. Some are said to be consumed by rage and bitterness, driven by a desire to spread their pain and suffering throughout creation. Others are motivated by a more insidious goal, to undermine humanity's faith in God and to draw as many souls as possible into darkness. The fall of the angels was not merely a singular event in the distant past. It was a cataclysmic rupture in the fabric of creation, the consequences of which continue to reverberate throughout the cosmos. The presence of evil in the world, the constant struggle between light and darkness that plays out in our own lives and in the events of history, can be traced back to this primordial rebellion. The fallen angels, though cast out of heaven, did not disappear entirely. They remain in the shadows, lurking at the edges of our perception, seeking to influence the hearts and minds of men. Their influence can be seen in the rise and fall of civilizations, in the outbreak of wars and famines, in the countless acts of cruelty and injustice that plague our world. But the fall of the angels also serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of our own choices. The story of the fallen angels is inextricably intertwined with the story of humanity. From the very beginning, these celestial beings have played a role in shaping our destiny, often in subtle and insidious ways. In the Garden of Eden, it was a fallen angel, disguised as a serpent, who tempted Eve with the forbidden fruit, leading to the fall of man and our expulsion from paradise. This act of deception, this manipulation of human free will, set in motion a chain of events that continues to this day. The serpent's whisper in the garden was not merely a temptation to disobey God's command. It was a more insidious attack on the very nature of humanity, an attempt to sow doubt in our hearts and to undermine our relationship with our Creator. The influence of the fallen angels on humanity extends far beyond the Garden of Eden. Throughout history, they have continued to tempt and test us, seeking to lead us astray from the path of righteousness. They are the source of our doubts and fears, the whispers of temptation that urge us to indulge our basest desires. The Bible is replete with stories of individuals who were tempted by the devil, from Adam and Eve to Jesus himself. These stories serve as cautionary tales, reminding us that even the most righteous among us are not immune to the allure of darkness. The fallen angels are masters of deception. They know our weaknesses, our deepest fears and desires, and they exploit them to their advantage. But even in our moments of weakness, even when we stumble and fall, we must never give up hope. The battle between angels and demons is not a distant cosmic event. It is a conflict that rages around us every day, often in unseen realms, but sometimes manifesting in the events of our lives and the course of history. We see evidence of this ongoing struggle in the rise of evil ideologies, in the spread of violence and hatred, in the countless acts of cruelty and injustice that plague our world. These are not merely the result of human failings, but the direct result of demonic influence, of the fallen angels' relentless efforts to corrupt and destroy all that is good and pure. But we must remember that we are not alone in this fight. Just as there are fallen angels who seek to destroy us, there are also angels of light who watch over us, who guide and protect us, and who fight tirelessly on our behalf. While the fallen angels are often depicted as malevolent entities, there are also accounts of these beings interacting with humanity in more ambiguous ways. Some ancient texts and esoteric traditions speak of fallen angels who regret their rebellion and who seek redemption, or at least a reprieve from their torment. These fallen angels may offer their knowledge or power to humans, often in exchange for something in return. These bargains can be tempting, offering shortcuts to power or knowledge that would otherwise be unattainable. But such bargains are always dangerous. The fallen angels, even those who claim to have turned away from evil, are still bound by their nature. Their motives are often suspect, and their gifts often come with hidden costs. The fallen angels, in their rebellion and their fall, offer us a glimpse into the abyss that lies at the heart of existence. They remind us that even in the midst of creation, even in the presence of divine light, there is always the potential for darkness, for chaos, for the undoing of all that is good and pure. Their story is a cautionary tale, a reminder that we are all engaged in a cosmic struggle between light and darkness, a struggle that plays out not only in the world around us, but also within our own hearts. The fallen angels serve as a mirror to our own potential for darkness, our capacity for selfishness, pride and cruelty. But they also remind us of the power of choice, the importance of aligning ourselves with the forces of light, and the hope of redemption that is offered to all who seek it. The story of the fallen angels is not merely a tale from the ancient past. It is a living story, a drama that continues to unfold around us every day. The battle between angels and demons, between light and darkness, is not confined to the pages of scripture or the whispers of legend. It is a battle that rages in the unseen realms, a battle for the hearts and minds of humanity. We may not always be aware of this cosmic conflict, but we are all participants in it. Every choice we make, every action we take, aligns us with either the forces of light or the forces of darkness. The fallen angels may have been cast out of heaven, but their influence continues to be felt in our world. They are the whispers of temptation, the seeds of doubt and fear, the unseen hands that guide humanity towards the abyss. But we are not alone in this struggle. We have the power to choose light over darkness, to resist temptation, to fight for what is good and pure.